your girl, Angira Marie, International Angira. Most of you may know me from Hot 914 Radio, where I'm one of the co-hosts. I want to give a shout out to Sean Montgomery and to the team over there at Hot 914 Radio. I apologize because I'm using some new techniques here. So I wasn't sure if I was live yet, but happy Sunday. How's everyone doing? I'm just happy to be here. Church ran a little late, but we had an awesome service. And we had a little talk with the filmmaker about a Christian-based movie. So that was pretty cool. So I wanted to make sure that I did not delay for too long. I thank you all for joining me. This is COVID-19 in Company. And the reason that I decided to do this broadcast was because there's a lot of people that are kind of discouraged as we've been facing lockdowns and quarantines. And I really wanted to help people understand that we're all in this together, like the whole hashtag alone together. And I want to encourage all of you, to keep pushing forward. Like, life is not over. We have a pandemic. There are many things that have happened in the past, and our ancestors overcame those things. So declare that you're an overcomer today. That's what I want to say. Declare that you are an overcomer. Say it with me. I am an overcomer. That's important. Like, what we speak is what comes out in fruition in our life. So speak positive over your life, and no matter what your circumstance looks like right now, trust God that He's going to change it and He's going to turn it around for your good. So today I'm expecting a guest from Abidjan, that's Cote d'Ivoire, West Africa. Her name is Blanche. So I hope that she can join us. So I wanted to do the broadcast today because she's not normally available on Mondays. And with the time zone changes and everything and her work schedule, I would not be able to connect with her on Mondays. So especially tomorrow being Memorial Day, I decided to do the broadcast one day early. So I'm sorry for throwing anyone off because I know you expect me Mondays, which next Monday, June 1st, I will be back on Mondays on that schedule. And on my last call, I had spoke with my friend Desiree in the UK, and we had talked about me maybe communicating with some people who have overcome COVID-19. Because I want you all to be encouraged that there's a lot of people that have passed from this virus. And my condolences to all of the families of the ones that have lost loved ones due to this pandemic. My condolences to you. I pray that God comforts you in this season, and I pray that He gives you strength. I want people to know, though, that there are people surviving from the virus. So that's why I wanted to start talking to some people who have actually overcame, so that they can encourage you things that they did to stay safe or like to get healthy again after going through the virus. So we'll have some details about that. That's what I'm preparing for next week. So stay tuned for that. And I want to take a minute and just say thank you, because this is now my 5th broadcast. So I want to just throw out some thank yous really quick. My first episode, I had Mr. Sorobis from Burkina Faso, Mr. Drew from Gujarat, India, Sasha from Kingston, Jamaica. And my second episode, I had Oren from Israel, and Chikawama from Paris, France, and Samity from Toronto, Canada, and Sono from Italy. And then the third episode, I had Lafayette in Grenada and Jason in Bermuda. And my fourth episode, I had Mr. Desiree from the UK. So I just want to say thank you again to all of those who have joined me on this journey. I'm really excited to just be in a position to encourage people. And I'm grateful for the people who have come along and are willing to go on that journey with me. So there's some other things I wanted to talk about before Blanche comes on. Like I mentioned last week about mental health and how important it is to stay healthy, not just physically, but mentally during this pandemic. And I want to encourage you all. It's normal to have a lot of different feelings about what's going on, because it's not just the virus, it's the economy, your job, how are you going to have the finances? A lot of people are out of work. How are you going to find a job? Like, there's so many things that can cross your mind. And then moving forward, like, we're in opening phases here in New York, and I know upstate has already opened, and my understanding is that the beaches are open this weekend for Memorial Day. And people are starting to come out, and people are traveling and moving about. I was reading an article about where you can travel, like what's opened up, and like what states have travel restrictions and all of those kind of things, so that I just have an idea, like if you're trying to make moves, you need to know whether or not they're going to require you to be quarantined when you arrive. So most of the places that I saw that they expected you to be quarantined, they want you to be quarantined for 14 days. So maybe you're just trying to go somewhere for like the weekend, or you have some family members to see for a few days. You are expected to self-quarantine in a lot of areas. So just be mindful of that as you make plans if you're looking to travel. Also, just remember the precautions, like wear your mask. At least, please wear your mask. I'm going outside and I'm seeing so many people that are not protecting themselves or protecting others. So even if you don't want to wear the mask for yourself, consider wearing it for other people. Like, we don't know who has the virus and who doesn't have the virus. And that can be scary, especially when you're in situations where you cannot social distance. So with that being said, I want to just go quickly. I'm going to give you some information for resources in New York. There are national resources also. I don't have those details, but for New York specifically, here in the epicenter, from last week, I gave you all the crisis number. That was 1-888-692-9355. 1-888-692-9355. If you or someone you know needs emotional support, please call. Like, don't be afraid to call. And I know some people maybe feel like embarrassment or those kind of things, but it's okay to ask for help. In a time like this, it's important that you do ask for help, because your mental state today, if you don't face the issues that you're dealing with, it's going to affect you in your future. So handle the situation today, handle the issues today, so that your future will be brighter. They also have a text number. So if you don't want to pick up the phone and call, you can text 65173. Text the word WELL, WELL, to 65173. And that's the crisis hotline here in New York. And there's counselors standing by that can help you. Another thing I want to mention is I've heard a lot of stories about domestic violence issues in the home. It's different to be locked up with people every day, and that's not your normal routine. And we can say and do things that will irritate people even when you go to work. So if you're in a situation that maybe you need to talk to someone, maybe you don't feel safe, there is also a hotline for that. It's called Being Safe Can't Wait, and that's the Hope line. It's 1-800-621-HOPE. That would be 1-800-621-4673. So you can reach out to them and speak to a counselor. There's also a second number. It's 844-997-2121. 844-997-2121. So I wanted to make sure that you get that information. I also realized that a lot of people didn't realize that there's a lot of resources out here to help you as you're going through this situation, especially like my church has a food pantry, and we serve on Tuesdays, and I'm part of the volunteer team there. So we serve on Tuesdays, and it is Zion Tabernacle F.B.H. Church. We're in Ozone Park, New York. We do serve all boroughs, even though we're in Ozone Park. And if you need food, please come out on Tuesdays. We normally serve between 11 to 1, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's pending when the truck arrives. but there is help. And our pantry is at Zion Tabernacle F.B.H Church. The address is 105-1 107th Avenue, Ozone Park, New York. But also in your community, there's all over New York, there's many pantries. I was reading an article, it had a whole list of them. But if you need food, please call 311. They can direct you to the closest pantry to you, especially if you can't get out. And they also have resources for the elderly. Meals on Wheels is delivering food that can help for the older adults. So there are resources available, and I just want to make that known. But if you need health information, you can go to cdc.gov, or you can dial 211 or 311 also, so you can get some information. And then I'm going to throw out again the National Disaster Distress Helpline. So nationally, so that's New York or anywhere in the nation, there's a helpline, and I have that information. That number is 1-800-985-5990. And let me read it again. It's 1-800-985-5990. I know a lot of you are watching me from different places in the country and outside of the country, so that might come in handy for someone. You can also use the text with them, and you would text the words "Talk with Us," and the number is 66746. So text "Talk with Us" to 66746 for the National Disaster Distress Helpline. So I just wanted to share that information with you all, and just keep everybody encouraged and let you know there's resources. There's, you're not alone in this. This is it's a worldwide pandemic, and I've really been interested in seeing what's going on with people in different parts of the world. So I don't know if Blanche is going to be able to make it. I know the internet, we spoke yesterday, and the internet connection is kind of difficult sometimes, but I was hoping that she could be able to make it and just talk. I heard that in the Ivory Coast, they sent the kids back to school on May 18th. So their children are back in school. They're reopening, but borders are not reopening yet. That's another thing. If you want to travel different countries, please get online, check that country's website, because a lot of places are not opening their borders as of yet, even though we are making small steps to move forward and, flights are operating again. Please make sure you check either the state or the country's website for more information before you consider any travel. I hate to see somebody get somewhere and then be stuck because they didn't know that they couldn't travel to certain places. So that's the main things that I really wanted to talk to you all about today. And I just want everyone to stay encouraged. And I want to see what's going on. So I'm also wanting to talk to more people. It doesn't matter if you're in the country or out of the country, but if you have been a victim of COVID-19, if you have a close family member who's suffered with the virus, you can message me. I would love to get you on so we can talk about those things. We can talk about the symptoms. We can talk about what to expect, because there is an estimated increase of numbers. I was so happy yesterday. I was listening to Governor Cuomo, and he was talking about Governor Cuomo. He was talking about the numbers are below 100 for the virus, the number of people that have died from the virus. That was yesterday. I think the number was 88. I didn't get a chance to listen to the broadcast today, but yeah, as of yesterday, it was only 88 people, which that's still a lot of people, and that's still a lot of families affected. But I thank God, because I remember when the numbers were more than 700 a day. So I'm just excited to hear that news and know that, we are making progress, but we want to keep moving forward in the same direction. Like, let's not get laxed and think that, okay, well, the numbers went down, so I don't have to wear a mask, or, I don't have to do these things. Please don't do that. please continue to take necessary safety precautions because it's important. And we want to protect ourselves and protect others. Most times, if you're running around and using public transportation and those sort of things, you're not going to be able to social distance well with being in a large city with lots of people commuting. So please wear your mask. I suggest wearing gloves. I wear my gloves and my mask. And don't be fearful, but just take the necessary precautions to protect yourself. And if you feel sick, please go see a doctor. Go get tested. If you have any of the symptoms, there's a lot of testing centers. I heard the governor talking about there's over 700 testing centers at this point in time, so that resource is out there. I think that's all I have for today. I'm going to log off. I don't think Blanche was able to connect. I know how terrible it is. Like when I'm in Abidjan, sometimes I have service, sometimes I don't. But I was looking forward to speaking with Hello.
Hello.
It is Blanche, all the way from Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, West.
West Africa.
Yes. How are you today, Blanche?
Yeah, I'm great. What about you?
I'm great, thank you. I'm so happy you had a chance to join us.
It's it for me. The pleasure is mine too.
Thank you. I know it's difficult because when I'm in Abidjan, it's like, do I have internet? Do I have minutes?
Yeah.
I was worried about the connection. So
Yeah.
that you could come on. How are you and your family amidst this whole COVID-19 pandemic?
Since because of COVID, we used to have a housemate, but now she left.
Oh man!
Because she was afraid, and I was also afraid. So when I come from work, I have to help my husband. And my husband, we work at the airport since we're close.
Right.
Yeah, the airport, so he's still at home.
Yes.
I was telling you that yesterday we were on vacation for almost 2 months.
So,
and returned to work last May 7th.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
You all have reopened.
So now we are rushing, but my husband is still at home. So he's the one who do everything at home when I go to work.
Yes. Yeah. Oh wow. That's a lot.
He watch the kids, he feed them,
especially like that. You're used to a domestic, so you're used to the posh life. Yeah, so I know the borders are still closed. I was looking at some of the things online about what countries are open and what restrictions there are. So I'm like, I still can't travel yet because the countries are
every borders are closed. Everybody is closed. Here in our country, they closed the country some for a moment, but now they open it because here in Cote d'Ivoire, it was in Abidjan. In Abidjan that the outbreak of COVID were in Abidjan.
Yes.
In Abidjan, so the government decided to close the borders from the countryside.
Oh, okay, because I heard something going on in Bouaki.
Yeah.
Had a few
like
cases.
Like Bouaki, Mom, they were closed because the government doesn't want that the COVID outbreak till the countryside.
Yeah.
But now they're open, the borders, now they're open. And last time I saw on TV that 2 days ago, that we have 2 persons in Abidjan that went to Mom. To Mom, they were suffered from COVID.
Oh wow. That's
so they moved to Mom with COVID.
Yes. Okay. Wow, that's something. I just love you, Blanche. Like, we've communicated for a long
Thanks.
time back and forth online, and you're always just so hard to goal, and you're always willing to help. And I have to ask you a personal question
Okay.
because when I'm
Yeah.
in, I have the hardest time because no one speaks English, but you speak English
Okay.
well.
Are you sure? I'm trying. I'm trying.
You do
I want to
great.
speak like you. I want to
Okay.
speak like native speaker. I'm trying. I want to speak fluently. I
Yeah,
do love English. English
yeah.
is everything for me. Yeah.
Wow. No, it's beautiful.
I'm
How did
trying.
you learn?
I learned it at school.
Okay.
At school, and my major at university was English.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
Attention in school. And
Thanks. I'm trying.
yes.
I'm trying. I'm
So
trying.
I know yesterday we were talking a little bit, and you told me that your family has not been affected by the virus. Thank God they've been protected.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
I was also reading.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi myself. I don't hear you very much.
Okay. Can you hear me?
There are some breaks. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Now
Okay, good. Little
it's
connection.
better now.
Okay, great. So I was reading the situation
Okay.
report about the Ivory Coast, and I understand that the schools
Yeah.
as of May 18th. Is that correct?
It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
We are going to reopen tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow on
Okay. So.
Monday.
Oh,
But since you see, I have two kids.
yes.
One boy, he got, he turned 4 years old
Okay.
last April, and one girl, she's going to have 7 next June.
Okay.
I decided that they won't go to school.
No, you're gonna keep.
Yeah, I decided since even my daughter that you saw my daughter yesterday.
Yes. Yeah.
She told me that she's afraid because she used to watch on TV COVID. Uh,
We're having a little connection problem here. Blanche, can you hear me? So just to confirm, Blanche said that the schools will reopen tomorrow in Abidjan, but her children are not going to go to the schools, and she has a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. And we were just talking about how the children are afraid because of what they're seeing on TV about the virus. So they will continue to homeschool. If you're watching, feel free to comment. And I wonder if you have children, how do you feel about that? Are you going to send your children back to school if, whenever the schools reopen? I think in New York, they're probably not going to open till next year. But as a parent, how would you feel about, sending your children back to school after COVID-19? Would you want to continue to homeschool, or would you want to just send them back to school and try to take necessary precautions? I think that's a good topic of discussion. So we've lost connection with Blanche. She is calling in from Abidjan, the Ivory Coast of West Africa. So I know the signals can be very bad there, but I'm grateful that she was able to come on with us for a couple of minutes. And we're seeing the reopening there, as she said that she's back to work, and she works in the media industry. So they're back, but still her husband works in the airport, so they are not yet back to work. And she was just talking about the fear of the domestic, like she normally has a maid in the house that helps out with everything, but the maid was scared to come. So, and they were scared to have a maid coming in and out. So they had to really take a transition on the way that they live their life due to COVID-19. So that's interesting because that's not something that I think most of us here in the US, most working people, we wouldn't think about that. We do so much on our own that we wouldn't think about those little things and how much additional work you have because of the virus. So I don't know if she's going to be able to reconnect. I'm trying to give her a couple of minutes here to reconnect. They have not had many cases of COVID there in Ivory Coast, but they did close down very quickly to avoid the spread, which I think was the best thing to do. The last I read, they had about 30 deaths and maybe a little over 2,000 total cases of COVID-19 in the Ivory Coast. So they were really good about closing down and trying to manage the situation as quickly as possible to avoid the spread. So Ivory Coast, that's Ivory Coast, or in French would be Côte d'Ivoire, and that is in West Africa. And Abidjan is the main city there. So I'm going to log off because I don't think that she's able to get a reconnection. Let me just confirm. But it's good to hear that, you know, they're moving forward and they're opening up. So it was great to get a chance to talk to Blanche for a couple of moments. And I just love that I can always talk to Blanche because she speaks English, but she speaks French, but she's very fluent, and that's not common in there in Ivory Coast. And I think a lot of people have a general knowledge of English, but they don't practice it. So they don't feel comfortable speaking. And I think most don't try, just try to speak French when I'm there. So I'm going to get out of here, but I want to, you know, have a conversation. The question that I posed is, would you feel safe to send your children back to school now that the world is reopening? I know in New York, I understand that the schools will not reopen for now, but I know that there's a possibility of summer school. Do you feel safe to send your children back into school after COVID-19? Please give me some answers, post here on my page. Let's have a discussion about that. How you feel about that? If you want to suggest things that you would do differently, you know, it's good to talk about because sometimes you don't think fully about something until it's actually there. So once you're there in the moment where you need to make the decision, it's like, oh, wait, I didn't really think too hard about that. So I'm gonna log off, like I said. Have a wonderful Sunday. Thank you all for watching. And I have a Bible verse for you all, of course. You know, I always have a Bible verse. But the Bible verse I have is Psalms 156, which reads, "Let everything that has breath praise ye the Lord." No matter what the circumstances, what it looks like, the fact that we're still here, we're alive, we have the gift of life. So praise God for what you have and expect that He's going to give you what you lack. And that's my encouragement today. I want to say thank you really quick to the Empowered Lifestyle Radio Show for allowing me this platform. They are on Monday through Friday on they're on Facebook Live, but they're also in Virginia in the Hampton Roads area. I will post their information, which I daily repost them, so you can check out my page and you'll find the Empowered Lifestyle Radio Show, where they're empowering me to be able to make these broadcasts, and they empower you with information to help you in if you're looking to buy a home or sell a home, or if you need an inspector, or if you just need encouragement. So They have many guests that do things that will help empower you. So, a little commercial for them. You can also check them out. They have Generation Next Realty is one of their companies, and Carrot Omni Media. So if you're a business person and you are looking to find ways to make your brand human, really pop, get your marketing going, I would suggest Carrot Omni Media, and you can find them. I'll also put a link on the page for that. So I love you guys. I'm going to get out of here. I want everyone to enjoy your Sunday and be blessed and be encouraged in all that you do. And we'll talk to you soon. So I will see you back on Mondays, June 1st, COVID-19 and company. And I will have a friend that we will talk about the virus, the symptoms, the effects. That's what I'm looking forward to, how you can make yourself healthy after COVID and what we should expect. Okay, so I'm out of here. Toodles for now from Angier Marie. Have a wonderful Sunday.